Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Tech and Time Labs. I know it's a little bit loud right now, but pretty much today we're going to be doing the review of. You guys already saw it in the description anyway. It's the Toyota Camry 2020. Now, this vehicle is one of my favorite vehicles actually because the Camry was actually my very first car I was ever gonna buy, and ironically, it was actually also blue color. So I don't know what blue actually has to do with me, but actually, blue is my favorite color. There's always blue on me. But that being said, we gotta get down to business of today. One of the things I actually do love the most about the Camry is, or in fact, it is actually the highest or most selling sedan in the United States. Even in 2020 that we are right now, despite the COVID and like all the low numbers, it is still the highest selling sedan, followed very closely by Toyota Corolla. So Toyota actually holds that spot. And the highest selling sedan, to be precise on the, I don't call it, on the model description and the spec, it is actually the Toyota Camry Hybrid. That is the highest selling sedan right now in the United States, and of course it is the fifth highest selling car in the United States this year, with the Ford, of course, F-150 leading that pack. So today we're just going to go into the review, the trims available, the design, the things I do love about it, the drive, of course, and the final review, and of course the pricing, if we would recommend it for you guys to get it or not. So you guys are welcome to another episode of Tech and Time Labs, and let's get down into the business of today. So pretty much we'll be reviewing the LE version today, but we'll quickly go into the trims and pretty much take it up from there. So, well, as I do usually, the Camry this year decided to come out with a new trim, which I'm kind of like really excited about. We have the TRD, which is the Toyota Racing Development. So pretty much they designed a racing version of the Toyota Camry, and that is actually insane. Like literally we have like a racing sedan out of that. But yeah, the trims we have this year, primarily we have the L, the LE, the XLE, the TRD, the SE, and the XSE. And of course, you know, your LE means the luxury edition, and the SE is the sport edition. So yeah, going into the exterior, we'll just run through all of them one after the other real quick. On the exterior, it's very different and varying depending on which of the trims you're dealing with. Now, the trim I have in front of me, of course, which you can see right now, is the LE version, and the LE, all of them come with the LED lights, but the way the LED lights are all situated or like accented is very different. On the XLE and the XSE, you actually have the lights, the LEDs that actually go like trailblazing, like the same type of like lights you have like on the Mustangs, technically, like that trailblazing kind of like effects with your trafficators or your indicators, and you have the accented like stage kind of like horse kind of like lighting on the XLE and the SXC, while the other ones pretty much have the regular trims or the regular like LED lights. So that's probably one of the major differences you have on that side of it. And of course, we've got the moonroof, or the panoramic moonroof on the XSE version. That's the only one you can actually get panoramic moonroof on. On all the other trims, it all varies on, definitely you've got the TRD spot and the TRD emblem on it. Moving on from there, the rims. So on the LE, you have the 16-inch sadly steel wheels, which are pretty much, I'll say, super outdated, which is one of the reasons I wouldn't go personally for the L trim. On the LE, you've got a 17-inch alloy wheel. If you go for the XLE, that upgrades again to, it stays the same 17-inch alloy wheel. If you go for the SC, you upgrade to a black 18-inch alloy wheel, and on the XSC, you have a similar alloy wheel on that too. That's the 18-inch. And on the TRD, it also still retains an aggressive 18-inch alloy wheel. So that primarily covers our exterior. Now going into the engines, which this year actually did something a little bit interesting. They made all the trims, with the exception of the new TRD, come standard with a 4-cylinder engine. So from all your trims, including the sports edition, that pretty much all of them come with a standard 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine that sports 203 horsepower and 184 pounds of torque. Now that is decent for pretty much a vehicle of this size. But if you pretty much want a much more aggressive vehicle, that is, you're on the more aggressive side, you want something sporty, something more responsive, you'd want to upgrade to the six-cylinder engine, that's the V6, which is only available on the XLE and the XSE. Now, as I mentioned initially, the TRD version comes standard with the six-cylinder engine, and of course, the six-cylinder engine delivers 301 horsepowers with 267 pounds of torque. So that is pretty much all the aggression and all the turbo you need in this vehicle. Now going to the fuel economy, pretty much the Camry does say standard, given a 29 miles per gallon city and 41 miles per gallon highway, with averaging about 35 miles per gallon. That is combined. However, you get the upper bounds of that on the L trim, which gives you actually a little bit above that estimate, and that reduces gradually as you come down all the way to the XSE. So I didn't really test all this one, so I can't really give you a specific mile per gallon kind of like estimates, but from the reviews that I've seen of people talking about it, the SE actually gave the best fuel economy on the regular kind of like vehicle, giving you, that's the 4-cylinder version by the way, giving you as much as 45 miles per gallon on the highway, which actually exceeds what it was actually rated for. Yeah, I didn't mention 3 other trims, which I won't necessarily consider them trims, but they are selling in the country right now, so why not just call them trims. There's the hybrid version, which comes in 2 variants. The LE gets its hybrid version, which is the regular hybrid, which is pretty much majorly known out there. Now that version sports a better fuel economy due to its lithium polymer based battery, while the other edition, which is the one you have on the SE and the XLE, is actually much lower. So on the LE CVT, you get pretty much 51 miles per gallon in the city and 53 miles per gallon on the highway, while on the other version, which is one you have on the XLE and the SE, you get those hybrids at 44 for the city and 47 for the highway. So now moving on into the interior of the vehicle, there's a whole lot of difference throughout all the trims, pretty much all the effects all of them carry in different ways, which I'm gonna pretty much talking majorly about the LE, but I'll be giving some differences between all of them based on what I know. But I'll quickly go into the similarities. Now, all of them come this year with the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, which actually goes into safety search. Probably not mentioned that yet. But standard, all of them have a minimum of the 6 speaker setup. So that's the minimum you get on all the Toyota Camry trims this year. You also get a touch screen, which of course the L comes with the smallest of them all at 7 inches touch screen, and you get Apple CarPlay, Alexa, which is the Amazon Alexa, and Android Auto standard on all of the trims. So that is pretty much one of the major similarities. Now we'll go into all the differences. Now on the L and the LE, I would say pretty much they're 100% the same pretty much on the inside. The similar accent, everything pretty much is the same. The only major difference you have between the L and the LE is the upgraded power adjustable seats, which means you can actually adjust the driver's seat, which is just on the driver's side. That's pretty much the major difference. Some other things that I won't call differences because it's not standard, but you could actually add on to the LE is blind spot monitoring and a moonroof, which you can add up to that, which is a standard moonroof by the way. But that's pretty much the difference between both of them. Moving up to the SE, it's more sports calibrated, so it's pretty much a much better design. You've got all this black accents. It's just brings out more life into it thanks to the color matching, like the color checkly detailing they did so it. So you've got all those slight accents on it. And moving on to the XLE, so the XLE is pretty much tuned or equipped with real and genuine leather, so it's got this very fine luxury taste and feel to it. Your screen is upgraded from the 7-inch to a much larger and much more better tuned 8-inch display. You've got now the JBL audio tune, which comes with 9 surround speakers, which gives you that mad ass sound, like literally brings the car like fully alive. You've got the dual zone climate control, which is just pretty much smooth. You've got the heated seats that's on the front if you want to, which is quite optional, but you could actually add that to. And with a color heads-up display, so literally you just got this nice tuned effect, so with a very comfort style kind of ride. So Personally, I'll probably say this is actually my favorite version of the Camry. If you're more sports tuned, then you go for the XSE, which pretty much has exactly everything you have on the XLE, and that's about it with the interior. Now moving on to the trunk, I actually really do like the trunk of the Camry because it's very spacious. It's one of the most spacious trunks to get in a sedan out there. It's always been, and it's still one of the most spacious. Now on all the trims, with the exception of the L trim, you get a 60/40 collapsible seats, which also makes you get a lot more cargo space. Now moving on to the comforts, I'll be talking about the comfort of the ride and pretty much the general comforts. And this year, all of them come standard with the noise cancelling or the noise damping windshield, and pretty much the way the suspensions and everything have been designed this year is to absorb a whole lot of noise, so you have a very, very quiet ride. For the drivers, if you're above 6 feet tall, both front and rear seats, you're cool enough. There's enough leg room, there's enough headroom for you to pretty much sit in there and have a very great ride. Now, one of the biggest packages of Toyota is safety, and this year they put the Safety Sense 2.0 as standard on all the vehicles. So, and what does that give you? Pretty much you have the front collision, emergency braking, lane departure warning, you've got your lane keep assist, and one of the most exciting part of vehicles for me since it actually started becoming standard is adaptive cruise control, which was only available to top of the line luxury vehicles back in the day. And that pretty much sums most of the summary of most of the review I'm going to be doing today on the Toyota Camry 2020. So if you guys have any pretty much questions, something you'd like me to look into, something you'd like me to say that I probably did not cover in this video, I'll definitely be replying in the comments section below. Let me know which cars you guys would like to see next on the next videos and all that. Before we end it up for today, let's talk about the pricing of this vehicle. So now, quite interestingly on the pricing, the TRD technically should be the most expensive because it's the all new top of the line trim, but unfortunately it is technically not the most expensive. So for the L, it starts at 25,250. The LE goes for 25,795, which is part of the reasons I actually recommend the LE for some of those just trying to get that low price. I'll come into my final recommendation eventually. The SE 26,995, the XLE 30,180, the XSE 30,830, and the TRD 31,995, which is almost 32 grand. But that is the starting price. Now, if you want to go into actually combining them with the V6 versions, which you have on the XLE and the XSE, automatically the prices jump incredibly. So for the V6 package on the XLE, it starts at 34,450, and the XSE starts at 35,000. And of course, I have to also mention the hybrid version. So the hybrid XLE starts at 28,550. The XE hybrid starts at 29,950, and the XLE hybrid starts at 32,550. Now, that being said, which ones would I recommend and which ones would I choose? The TRD will probably be my personal first choice because I'm a sporty guy, I'm a racing guy, I love speed, I love response. It's been tuned to literally be a sports car, but that is not what every basic user wants, every day-to-day user wants. Going to the regular user, which vehicle would I choose? Straight up out of the bat, if you're a regular user, you want a sedan, all this extra stuffs, but really good, simple, it works, it's reliable. The Toyota Camry LE does it. The price and everything is just perfect at that point, and it's just a go-to. It's just my straight-up go-to. If you want a lot of more fuel economy on it, you could go for the hybrid version of the LE. That will be the second go-to. But if you want to now taste more of luxury and you want a lot of like luxury feel into the vehicle, then definitely the XSE would always kill it as top of the line luxury. If you want to go for the V6 version of that, of course, that would max it out. But if you're more of the comfort ride kind of person, you just chill, laid back, you don't need all those extra aggressiveness or whatnot, which pretty much I want, and I would have mainly gone for the TRD. Just go for the XLE package, which actually hardly see people go for it. So that you go for the XSE, which is just maxing it out straight up, or you do your LE, either the hybrid or the regular. But that's my verdict and that's my review on this vehicle. If you like this, if you really did like this video or you like what you saw, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, share this content, and there's a giveaway going on right now for the Google Home, which I'll be dropping. It's actually already on, so you guys can actually go watch that video. I just put the link, just put up right there, so watch that video and see how you can actually get yourself one of those. With that being said, thanks for watching. See you guys on the next video in 2 weeks. Ciao.